£27 as a gift to a German banking official. 27 million. Why? And so because he wanted to avoid, he's actually scared that he's going to get nobbled for a £1.25 billion tax bill. So Labour's up to their eyeballs in the truth. So all three parties are connected with tax havens. So we wonder why our political elite are not taking action on tax havens. My analysis is they're up to their eyeballs in tax haven money, and they're up to their eyeballs in tax haven dodgers who are around the political elites at the top of the parties. And this is huge. Because this is why how the 1% accumulates more and more wealth. It's because significant amounts of use tax havens to not pay tax, whilst we pay tax to fund our essential public service. I'm proud to pay tax. I want to pay tax. I'm proud. I'm actually grateful that I'm earning income that I can pay tax. So I like our health service. I like our other essential services. But actually, if Britain has, as I said, has not taken real action to tackle the taxing system, and it's huge complication, not just for the wealth disparity in Britain, but there is more wealth stolen from the poor in the third world countries through British tax havens than the world gives in aid to the third world. If we stopped stealing from them, they wouldn't need so much aid from us. And it's through British tax havens, and our political elite are not taking action on that. And so those are three areas I think we are a prostitute state. They buy our political elites, they own our media, and they corrupt our thinking through that, and thirdly they actually have our corrupt tax system. So I don't want to send you off in a bit it's pretty overwhelming how comprehensive the whole thing is. So what's the next step? It's actually solutions, isn't it? I've identified the tent that we are as a country are in, the prostitute state that we're in. And I think actually that's the exciting thing about Occupy. In a funny sort of way, remember that they're only 1%. And they are the 1% because we fund them. We give them our bank accounts, we give them our electricity accounts, we give them our grocery bills. We fund them. But what's interesting about Occupy is that it symbolises awareness. It symbolises knowledge. When you went and occupied the guy who got 18 million at this guy in Canton, really interesting role to play in this. And so, for example, why shouldn't there be Occupy lobbyists? Why shouldn't there be Occupy Occupy the media magnates? I mean, Murdoch's got away with absolute murder. Notice everybody sat in front and said, "What are you doing?" The political lobbying system. The solution to that, to me, is that we need to recognise that political lobbying is another legitimate part of the state. But like the judiciary and the police system, it must be separate. It must be regulated. And what I mean is that there should be a ban on politicians becoming political lobbyists. There should be a ban on all parliamentary, any peer being a political lobbyist. You should not be able to be a political lobbyist and a member of a political party. We have to separate the two rules. Also, we need full transparency and we need fairness. So that whenever Shell or BP are lobbying our government to get rid of climate change legislation, but they're advertising in The Guardian and on that they're in favour of renewable energy, and they're doing the opposite. Every single submission by a lobbyist or by a corporation should be immediately available to the public to be seen online. Any meeting should be balanced. Our Prime Minister meets News International 55, 56 times. How many times did he meet the Rural Land Institute? How many times did he met the Social Care Industry? How many times did he met people representing people in social housing? How many times did he met council tenants? In my view, if we have a fair lobbying act, we have a system whereby all meetings are 50-50. If you meet an oil industry representative, you need to meet a Greenpeace representative. All meetings need to be 50-50, so that there's fairness for society. When it comes to the media, we need actually a media regulator, and we really need to ensure the Leveson inquiry takes on board media ownership. If we only focus on the million-dollar issue, we'll miss the real issue that our political system has been hijacked. We need fairness in our media, we need diversity in our media, we need a regulator that ensures that all sections of society's views and issues are represented in our media, so we can have a fair, open and democratic debate. So when we come to vote, we're informed, not brainwashed. Too many of our people are brainwashed by the Sun and other organs to actually that we don't have informed voting public. Real democracy requires empowered, educated citizens, and we need to take action on that. Finding that tax havens, they need to be closed down. It is not acceptable that we actually have tax havens existing on the British jurisdictions. Why are we allowing Jersey and the Isle of Man and British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands to get away with stealing our tax money that should be funding schools and hospitals? Why are we allowing our tax havens to steal from the poor in the wider world? Why not occupy the airport that the planes that land from Jersey? Let's really bring it home to them that if you want to screw us, we'll actually go to show you what's happening. If you want to part of the prosecute state, we need to expose you. There are things we can do about this. It's essential we take on this board, and that's why I'm really excited to have been invited to come along, and how inspired I am by the work you guys in OccupyLSX are doing, and please keep going because you're making a huge contribution to changing society. For the individuals, they're talking about figures of 7 to 8 billion. But what I don't know is the figure that actually the corporations are avoiding. That's a fascinating statistic, and I think it's a good question. But how did the City of London escape? Political lobbying. One of the political lobbies they hired was a senior Liberal Democrat peer, who used all his contacts within the Liberal Democrats in London to lobby for exemption for the City of London, to make it less democratic. So the fact that you guys are being sued, whatever, having legal eviction order from the City of London, non-democratic organisation, goes back to their lobbying and their hard lobbyists. The other interesting thing about the City of London is that because they're actually basically represent the companies based in the City of London, they don't represent the people. But bizarrely, they have the status of being a local government, which means that they have access to government lobbying systems and European Union. They have an office in Europe where they lobby the European Union on behalf of the financial services industry. So whether they lobby on behalf of tax haven dodgers or not, I know, but I will guarantee you a significant number of the people who vote at the top of the corporation and who vote in the City of London, they are associated with tax haven companies, a lot of them.